as I throw open the door, we all yell, "Surprise!" But the surprise was on us, and there was my wife bent over in D-style position. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled Birthday Present to Ex-Wife. And guys, this story is all about a guy who's married, sounds like not too long, a couple of years or so, and started noticing some very suspicious behavior from his wife. Her texting all the time, laughing on all her texts, claiming that she's texting her mom all the time, which, believe me, I talk to my mom, it's not that funny all the time, talking to her, and all these other strange things, leaving late at night to go get things that didn't quite add up. And eventually he hired a PI and found out, lo and behold, well, his suspicions were accurate, that she was cheating. And the guy comes up with a very creative and not to mention hilarious way to get even with her. And so I'm going to go through his story here, point out a few things that are important for you relationship types of guys to understand about, to pay attention to, red flags and all that, because they're here. It's normally something I talk about more on my other channel, Strong Successful Male, but I will point them out anyway here. But this is more for entertainment, so I'll keep the teaching element to a minimum. So it starts off, he says, gather around, boys and girls, because it's time for the story of my cheating ex-wife and how I effed her. Now bear with me, as this is a bit of a long one, but F it. So I had a feeling she was cheating on me, as she set off a lot of red flags. Constantly laughing and smiling when texting, saying it was just her mother when I asked. Needless to say, late every night after work. When I call her, her coworker said that she left hours ago. When I asked her what was going on, she'd laugh it off and say it was just something they did to each other at the office all the time. And there you go. Lots of classic red flags. Always watch out for them. The last straw to where I knew something was definitely up was when she went out to get milk at 11:30 at night and didn't come back to 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, she got some milk, but it was a different type of milk. Milk and sausage. Now, if there's any words of wisdom I can pass on to others in all my years of experience, it is if you think your significant other is cheating, hire a effing private investigator. They're goddamn good at what they do, and they will get some evidence that really helps later in the divorce. And as you're going to see here, he definitely gets it. He says, fast track to her birthday several months down the road. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell did I wait months before I confronted her, and did it really need to be on her birthday? The answer to the first question is, I wanted to gather as much evidence as possible to hand off to my lawyer, as well as make arrangements to find a new place to live, etc. Very smart. A lot of guys understandably would confront the cheating ex right then and there, but this guy understands, hey, you know what, if I can't just leave, I gotta have a place to go, because breaking up with her and spending a length of time sleeping on my friend's couch is gonna get old real quick. So this guy hung back, got all the evidence, played it cool, evidence for the lawyer, got a new place, and then he struck. It says, answer to your second question is, of course, it had to be on her birthday. Well, of course. Revenge is a dish best served cold. You see, after asking her what she wanted to do on her birthday this year, she was rather insistent on me going out of town with my friends, as she had to work anyways and didn't want to be reminded that she was aging. What a load of crap. So I know something is up, and after finding a bottle of champagne and 2 hidden glasses in my closet, something in me snaps. So I do what any sensible man would have done. I leave and go to my friend's house pretending like I'm going out of town. While there, I call up my mother, father, sister, and several of her friends. I tell them how I want to give her a big surprise by sneaking in on her in her room with some party streamers, kazoos, and a big cake with candles. Sounds fun, right? Well, boy was it. So, gonna surprise at her house when she thinks that this guy is away with friends on vacation. What could they possibly walk in on when she's supposed to be at home working, right? He says it's 8:30 in the morning, and I have everyone met just outside of our apartment. We pile in the elevator, about 8 of us in total, her mother holding the birthday cake, and me reminding everyone to be as quiet as they can be. I put my key in and I unlock the door. We all sneak in and make our way down the hallway towards the bedroom. Each of us hold a kazoo, and Mom is holding the cake, grinning ear to ear. Well, as I throw open the door, we all yell, "Surprise!" But the surprise was on us, and there was my wife bent over in D-style position with her lover staring at us wide-eyed mid-thrust. Imagine that. I would love to see that happen. The mom drops the cake, sister screams, father begins to shout. I pretend like I'm horrified, to which her friends try to push everyone out while yelling at her. The wife, ex-wife, is sobbing and screaming, "How could I?" while the lover is desperately trying to put his pants on while running out of the place. Needless to say, it was one of the best birthday presents I'd ever given. That is hilarious. And she's blaming him. Now, this guy provides a couple updates in response to questions that people had. And by the way, it said 8:30 in the morning, and I was thinking, bullshit, 8:30 in the morning, but he clarifies it was on a Saturday, therefore, she wasn't off to work, she was sleeping in and all that. He says, as an update, so directly afterwards, her mom was too busy trying to clean up that effing cake from the ground. The sister literally had to push her out of the apartment to get her to stop. The dad at first tried chasing the guy down, but came back to check on everyone. He kind of just looked at me as if saying, "I'm so sorry," before taking the mom to the car. As for my lovely ex, she literally just blamed everyone in the room. Blamed the parents for coming into our apartment without telling her, the sister for being a quote-unquote bitch. Didn't understand that one. Hell, she even blamed the friends for not telling her about the surprise. She didn't try to explain herself to me, just called me name after name and threw stuff at me. So she's cheating. He walks in on her getting plowed D-style on his bed in his apartment, and she's blaming him and making this guy out to be the bad guy in this whole thing? You gotta be kidding me. But I've done this long enough that nothing surprises me anymore at all. He says, it was so surreal. I had this expectation that she would be clutching me and trying to stop me from leaving, telling me how sorry she was. I thought it would be like the movies, but no, there was the woman I'd loved for 2 years screaming and hitting me, telling me I had ruined her relationship with this other guy. I guess in her mind, she completely stopped seeing me as her husband, but more as just her roommate. That's exactly what happened. Any decent human being that was unhappy would just end the relationship and move on. But she wanted to have her cake and eat it too, although her birthday cake's on the floor, and be with this dude and have him obviously pay bills and be supportive. Meanwhile, she's hooking up with this other guy. She got what she deserved. And he says, the last I heard, she moved in with the guy, or at least I think it was him. She had gotten pregnant and most likely has the kid. If they're still together, I really couldn't tell you. At this point, I just hope she found some happiness, even if it's not me being the one who gives it to her. Screw that. I wouldn't want her to have happiness after what she pulled. And now he has another response to some questions about the whole situation. He says, sorry everyone, I was about to respond when I saw I had a bunch of requests as to what happened next, so here it is. He says, well, to be honest, it was funny as hell at first. I tried to disguise my laughing by pretending I was choking up. After so long of being betrayed, I was the one who got to have the last laugh. Plus, since I had hired a private investigator, I was able to prove she was using my money to pay for things for her lover, hotels, dinners, etc. So I did get some compensation for that. Obviously, I guess in the divorce. Though she did get half of my life savings, effing bitch. But I was young and just starting out, so the amount I had then was pretty laughable now. So then reality sets in. Your marriage is over. The woman you fell in love with has betrayed you, and the last 2 years of your life were a bit of a waste. In the end, it's not even about the money. I really thought I loved this girl. Why didn't she love me? For the longest time, I wondered what was wrong with me and if anyone would truly be able to love me. Not to mention, I was really close to her dad. Mine left when I was younger, and I never spoke to him since then. So hers kind of took to me under her wing. Kind of the father I never had. I still call him from time to time, share with him my accomplishments as they come and go, and stop by to see him when I get a chance. Wow, he must have really liked you, given that obviously you planned this thing and made his daughter look like a fool. But a lot of times I've found these stories, guys, that when the wife or the girlfriend or the fiance does the guy wrong, a lot of times the fathers will side with the guy because they feel bad. They're ashamed of their daughter's actions. Meanwhile, her mother takes the daughter's side, of course, which makes you always question, what did she do to the husband? It says, divorce is never fun, boys and girls, and take my advice. When you're young and in love, don't be foolish and run into something. Take some time to really get to know the other person. Wait 3 to 5 years. there you go. I'd wait longer, but now we're on the right track. 3 to 5 years, and obviously didn't. And I'm willing to bet you this dude, they probably weren't engaged very long, got married, and she probably figured, oh, well, everybody else is getting married. All my friends are getting married, so I might as well rush into it, marry some dude I'm not in love with, just so I can have my magical day and all that bullshit. He says, wait 5 years, move in together. Fuck, I wish someone had just pulled me aside and said, man, think about what you're doing. Well, that's why I do my other channel, to help guys think about what they're doing. Maybe you should give it some time. Another piece of advice, the old saying about you know how your girl really is by how she treats her parents. This is absolutely true. She was a total B-word to her parents. That should have been my first red flag. Another thing about red flags, guys, is you also see it with the girl and her family. How the situation with their parents. If it's a loving situation, they all have a great time together, there's no drama or turmoil, the odds are your relationship with her will be minimal drama. On the other hand, if there's all this turmoil with their family and they're always fighting and there's bad communication and there's bad feelings and all that, the odds are that's going to be your relationship. So always, for your relationship, guys, watch how your girl's dynamic is with her parents and her siblings and all that, because that could be your situation. Anyhow, guys, that'll be a pretty good one there. That's a pretty clever revenge thing. I mean, just imagine that. She's thinking that she's fine and she's getting plowed by her boyfriend. All of a sudden, the whole family comes walking in with the birthday cake and the streamers and Now, sure, some of this sounds a little too good to be true, but you never know online. But it'll be an entertaining one nevertheless. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And guys, if you ever come across a really good story, just email it to me at my main address, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Really funny stories, crazy articles, whatever you think would be good for this channel, definitely would help me out. Because the more I get, the easier it is for me to do more videos for this channel a lot more often. Because I try to do 2 to 3 a week, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't happen as much as I want it to. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.